Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. My hair's a little messed up from my stocking cap. Uh, Day 12 of Nickelodeon month is Hey Arnold the movie. So, before I watched this, I didn't know any behind the scenes stuff. But after watching this, you're damn right I took a look because only thing I knew is that they wanted the Jungle movie to be the finale, to be the movie that went to theaters, but this went. I didn't realize that this was supposed to be a TV film. You look at this, like I pressed play. I watched this on Paramount Plus, right? I have the DVD, but for purposes of me watching it before I go to work and then watching it in the van. And I got this done. Almost done. I was almost done with this movie by the time we pulled up to our first site. And then I finished it after we were done. The first site. So, yeah, this movie's over an hour and 15 minutes. And most of it I watched up here. So, yeah. When I pushed play, I was ready to, once they, got started. And I'm watching this and I'm going, wow, this animation is not very good. I don't even think it was up to standards to the way that the series looked at the time. I was like, this looks weird. Like Big Bob, Helga's dad. By the way, if you want to know about Hey Arnold, what the show's about, watch my Retro Rewind episode on the Journal. Because I explain it in there, basically. So you have, Big Bob. He has brown hair instead of gray hair for some reason. I don't know. And it's short. It's an hour. It feels like an extended episode of the show. It's an hour and 15 minutes. It feels like an extended episode of the show. The animation looks like a typical episode, but kind of worse. I mean, maybe like one of the earlier episodes. Who knows? But music, there's no big soundtrack like with Jimmy Neutron or the Rugrat movies. It's just the score. The only song that we get that's not musical score is Two Way by Little Romeo that plays in the credits, because they used that to market this movie. It was all over the place. And so it's jarring though, because you watch the entire movie. We'll get to it. Entire movie. And it feels like an extended episode of the show. And then right at the end, it goes, yo, two-way me. Romeo, Romeo, it takes two. It's all right. Oh, Romeo, it takes two to make it out of sight. And I'm just like, that does not fit at all with what we just saw. There's no pop songs that are, popular from this point in time. There's no, the only music with lyrics are when Eugene tries to make it a musical twice. Other than that, nothing. And like I've said this twice now, it feels like an extended episode of the show because it was. Upon doing my research, it turns out this was supposed to be a three-part finale to season 5. And I guess canonically, it takes place between one episode and another in season 5. It's supposed to be the 3-part finale to season 5 that they ended up not doing, and it was going to be a TV movie that Nickelodeon looked at how the Rugrats movies were doing. It was like, you know what? Let's do this movie. Which, Craig Bartlett wanted to do the Jungle movie, which was the actual finale to the show and finishing up the story from the Journal as the theatrical film. But Nickelodeon wanted to film right now because it was going to take a while to animate. They were already animating this one, so they just said, put that one in theaters. Just put that one in theaters. The animation was not up for a theatrical run. Hell, it better looks like it could be a TV episode animation, to be honest. The plot does not fit a theatrical film. The original TV film was called Arnold Saves the Neighborhood. And basically what it is Arnold and Gerald are working together to try to stop this real estate guy named Shaq from demolishing the neighborhood and putting new big buildings up and, you know, that sort of thing. And so that's the plot of the film that we get. And I can't say I didn't enjoy it, because there are some things. The grandma always makes it for me. Like, grandma is fantastic in this. And grandpa's good too, but he's not as goofy as he should be. But it just, I don't know. Oh, and that big thing that stands out with this, because I was very confused. Well, sort of. You see, spoiler alert for the Jungle movie. So if you haven't seen the Jungle movie, wait about, I'll start talking about it. Give it about 2 minutes. Once it gets to the 6-minute mark, 2 minutes, and then wait. Okay, in the Jungle movie, Helga confesses her love to Arnold. And I remember watching that and going, wait a minute, didn't he already do that? Well, turns out he did, because in this movie, he does it. But it's played so much like, so awkward. It's so awkward in this. It's played so awkward, I should have said a minute or 30 seconds. Sorry. But yeah, in the Jungle movie, she does confess his love and he reciprocates. Okay? I'm still in the spoiler territory. So, of that. Yeah, that movie's actually good, though. So, I'll tell you that much. But I'm just going to go ahead and start talking. Then people will come back at 8 minutes, whatever. So he tells her, or she confesses her love to Arnold in this. First of all, she's disguised as Deep Voice. Play on Deep Throat. Which, if you've seen X-Files, you know what that is. Or if you know any government conspiracies, you know that whole thing. Deep Throat, whatever. She's Deep Voice, and she's telling Arnold how to get to, you know. But then Arnold figures out where Deep Voice is coming from and figures out that it's Helga, where she just blurts out that she's in love with him and then kisses him. His hat flies off, and then he's like, okay. And then at the end of the movie, if you're coming back from the 2 minutes, it didn't take 2 minutes. I basically just explained that Helga confesses her love to, because it only took 30 seconds for me to explain it, but Helga confesses her love to Arnold here, and he doesn't reciprocate it. He's like, okay, sure. And then later in the film, he's like, hey, remember when you told me you love me? You didn't mean that, did you? And seeing a way out of being kind of embarrassing or something like that, she's like, nah, I hate you, football head, and she punches him in the shoulder and stuff. And yeah, so that was going off, which I guess it works if this was supposed to canonically be in between 2 episodes and they don't mention it after that. If this was meant to be the finale like I originally thought, then yeah. But I don't know, why even do that at all? Why even do that at all? It feels like that scene was maybe added after they decided to make it a movie. Oh, we gotta do it, it's the movie. I don't know. And when I'm looking at this, I noticed that it came out before the finale aired, and I was like, why? Because that's when it was, they wanted it out right away, and not wait till the show was over, so when they do the Jungle movie, and it took them 15 years to do the Jungle movie. But anyway, so Arnold and Gerald, Arnold doesn't want the thing to break down, so to be destroyed. So he does this block party, but one of Shaq's men intercepts the permit to do the block party, and so the cops come and they arrest Grandma for some reason. And then I did laugh because the next day he's like, Grandma, they're like, she's not here, Arnold. What? What do you mean she's not here? Well, I thought she was just in jail one night. Yeah, but she kept trying to escape. So they keep throwing her back in there. So yeah, that's her thing. And then she does escape at the end using a Shawshank Redemption poster in front of the hole behind the poster thing. It's not the only movie they rip off. Later there's a thing where Gerald is driving a bus. Which, by the way, they choreographed that. They're sitting there and he's playing this game called Runaway Bus. He goes, I'm good at Runaway Bus. But it's just a game on him. It's just a game. It's not real. It could never happen. And I went, so we're going to see that later, right? Sure enough, there's this bus driver that keeps showing up. And he's like a jerk, right? He's a jerk. And because his girlfriend broke up with him. But then when they tell him where the place is getting demolished, he's like, that's where my girlfriend lives. I'll save ya. So he down, and then he gets knocked unconscious. So Gerald has to drive the bus. While they're driving the bus, though, they hit a lady pushing a grocery cart full of cans. And Gerald says, it was just cans. I rolled my eyes at that and I went, okay. Mm-hmm. If you don't know, that's from Speed, Keanu Reeves. So baby, it's just cans. Yeah. And yeah, Helga is deep voice, which is obvious because deep voice calls Arnold right after we see a scene where Helga is sitting there while Big Bob is talking to the Shek's lackey about where the document is or whatever. Like, oh, they have a document. There's a document that states that this document, first of all, is... So, Grandpa tells the story of the Tomato War, that apparently a document was signed which makes this neighborhood they had a tomato war against the British. This guy named Von Scheck. That's a German. Von Scheck is German, not British, but okay. And yeah, it's Scheck's ancestor. We find it out later. But because they defeated him and it was declared, a sacred landmark or something, and they find out, of course, that Scheck has it. And so they... so they go to, so they have to, so that's where, Big Bob, they're worried about it, and Big Bob's like, well, what they find? He goes, oh, don't worry about it, I got it, or Scheck calls him or something like that, got it, and Helga hears this, of course, so in the next scene we see deep voice, it's like, oh, obviously that's Helga, who else could it be? Big Bob? Weird. Yeah. And so they go. And look, they're told that this document is in one place, so they go there like, oh no, it's not here. Scheck took it. And so they go, they get the key from this guy by donning disguises and sneaking into the guy's apartment. Take the key from him, they go to the deposit box, and it's not there because Scheck took it out. What a lazy way to run your movie out to an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, we gotta go get it from this place. It's not there. Scheck took it and it's in this place. We go there. It's not there. Scheck has it. And it's not just that. It's, okay, we gotta go get it here. They go there. It's not here. Scheck has it. We go to Scheck's office now. Oh, it's not here. It's in a safety deposit box. We gotta go get it from the guy at his house and then go back to the safety deposit box at Scheck's place. It's not there. What do we do? Oh no, Scheck has it. So now we gotta go back to the regular neighborhood. It's just so much plot points wasted. Meanwhile, Grandpa and the other building tenants, Mr. Wynn, the guy who always wants a sandwich, and the demolition guy, they get a bunch of dynamite and they're going to put it in the middle of the neighborhood so it blows a hole so they can't break the machines down. Okay? To demolish it. So they're using bulldozers to demolish it? Wouldn't it be easier just to use dynamite? And by the way, what kind of, like, procedures do they do? They show up to demolish this place, and people are still sleeping in their apartment buildings. And they're like, huh? Oh, it's 7 a.m., time to demolish this thing, and they're there, and people are still in their buildings, and it's like, wait, why wasn't this neighborhood evacuated? What's going on? Why are they still sleeping? If this building was getting... People would have moved out already. People are still living in their apartments. They're sleeping. Why? How? And I'm like, okay, this dynamite thing is probably not what's going to work. I was afraid they would do the thing where it demolishes the neighborhood anyway. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. That's stupid. They don't. Your grandpa's an idiot. And it does get activated. But it blows up Shek's little tower thing that has his picture on it. Little video thing on it. So, yeah. There's also secret agent ladies for some reason. And so Shek burns the document. And I don't know how this would hold up in a court of law. So, Arnold gets the idea to, because Shek videotapes everything, to go and get the video recording of him burning the document. Okay, that proves he burned the document, but, like, when they showed up close, there's a bunch of scribbles. Like, how would that hold in a court of law? You know? It wouldn't. They're like, yeah, document existed, but they would look at it and be like, yeah, the document did exist. He burned it, though, so there's no actual physical proof that I don't know how much that would work. I don't know, but it does work. The mayor's like, okay, we're not demolishing this place, and Shek loses. And two-way me, Romeo, it takes two, make things alright. Romeo, oh no, it's so out of nowhere. It's like, hey, we did it, and we get the little score, and then two-way me, as it goes to the credits, and it's like, okay, that's just jarring. I don't know, you know, but yeah, I hate to say this about a Hey Arnold movie, but it's, yeah, Grandma shows up after breaking out of prison and stops on the bulldozers, knocks the bulldozer guys over. It's like, yeah, they're trying to stop the bus, but I gotta say, it's not worth your time. I was close, like a borderline. I was close to saying it's middle of the road, borderline with not worth your time, but it's almost not worth your time unless you want to watch it as like an episode of the show. I'm not sure between which episode it goes to. Like Piggy is one of them, or Eugene or something like that is the first episode. It comes between Eugene and another episode, I think. But I don't know. I don't know if it's technically canon, since the Jungle movie does something that they did in this movie, but better. And so, I don't know. This is canon, but yeah, it's not worth your time unless you're going through the series and you feel like you have to watch it with that as a companion. Sure, but I don't know. I don't know. So next, we are doing the Wild Thornberrys movie. Another movie I've only seen once. Wild Thornberrys movie. These three, Arnold the movie, the Wild Thornberrys movie, and Rugrats Go Wild, I've only seen once. Oh, and the one that's between Wild Thornberrys movie and Rugrats Go Wild, I've only seen once because it barely aired more than once, I don't think. We'll get to that. I'm getting interested in when that's going to come up. But, yeah, so what are your thoughts on Hey Arnold the movie? Let me share, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.